Odd Fox here for Universidad AOM. Just wanted to make a quick video for you guys, show you how to execute a one town center fast heroic build order on land, particularly maps with a lot of hunt, as ISIS. So I'm just going to jump right into it, and the build order should be showing up in the stream on the bottom left there for you to follow along as I talk through it. And I'll continually pause as I'm going through the build order to talk about all the different things that I'm doing to try and make it as clear as possible. So we're just going to get started now. So first what you're going to do is you're going to look for your hunt. Generally you'll have hunt spawn in line of sight. For me here I've got 4 aurochs showing up in line of sight, so I queue up my villagers right to the I send the 2 starting villagers and the pharaoh to the aurochs. I buy hunting dogs and I send the first 2 villagers that I create, I send those to gold, and I try not to lose all of the villagers as I'm starting to hunt. And then you're going to make sure you empower your hunt spot. So those first 2 go to gold here. You want to make sure that you can make your mining camp close to the gold mine and put the villagers gathering in between the gold mine and the mining camp so you have high efficiency there. And then you want to queue up your next 4 villagers to your hunt. Meanwhile, you should be using your priests to scout and find your next hunting spot, etc., using obelisks because they're cheaper and build faster for ISIS. So you're going to go until you have 6 food villagers on the aurochs. And another thing that you can do alternatively is if you can't find your second hunt spot or you can't find your first hunt spot, you can supplement your scouting using your pharaoh because he has increased line of sight compared to your priest. So after you have those 6 on your aurochs, you're going to send 2 to wood. And the reason you're sending 2 to wood is so that you can get enough wood to research pickaxe, which is the first mining upgrade, economic upgrade. You want to buy pickaxe as soon as possible before you advance to classical age. So you put those 2 on wood, then you're going to send your next villager is going to make a monument, and then it's going to make a house, and then it's going to make a temple after it completes both of those 2 buildings, one after the other. And the other thing to notice why I paused it is because you're running out of food here on your first auroch that you're hunting from, so you want to make sure that you switch to the second one the moment that runs out, which is now. And you can also reset the hunting animation like this. Oh my god. It's weird, I'm playing without lag, so I'm not used to being able to have that low latency there, which is why I missed 3 times. So then you're going to send, after using this villager to make your monument and your house, you're going to send the next 6, go to your second hunt spot. It's very important that you don't just send the next 6 to the same hunt spot that you're at, because then they get jumbled up and don't have a high efficiency gathering around this granary. You need to go to a second hunt spot, if you have one, and make sure that you've got 6 and 6 is the optimal way to do that. But on maps like I'll find that you have very low hunt or like multiple hunt packs, you may have to go even smaller than that. Like instead of 2 groups of 6, you might have to have 3 groups of 4, or even 4 groups of 3, depending on how spread out everything is and how big the different hunt packs are.
Enrich rig up UIR. Enrich up.
So we're going until we have 6 here, and attack, and then reset the hunt animation so that they gather immediately rather than waiting to put their bows down to move towards the caribou. Continuing to scout using your priests, making obelisks. And another thing you can do just to further increase the efficiency is that you want the animal to die as close to the granary as possible, and you know that it takes 2 arrow shots to kill the animal. So if you move your villager to the far side of the animal, shoot it once and then twice, it'll generally move in the opposite direction in which it's being shot. So if you come at it from the far side,
Twig, no.
then it'll walk towards the granary before it dies, which means your villagers will be gathering closer to the granary. They don't have as far to walk before they drop off the food, and that's always important. So here, I was actually slow because I was talking and not paying attention. I've hit 150 gold. So at this point, I want to start making my temple as soon as possible. And I've also hit over 130 wood from these guys over here. So I want to buy pickaxe as soon as I hit 108 or 110 wood. So I was late on those two things. So I'm going to do that now. And so I've got 6 here, idle 6 villagers here.
No. No.
Oh my god.
No.
Reset the hunting animation. I'm just going to let them do their thing because I clearly can't handle this. So then once you have 6 and 6 on food, you're going to queue to gold until this temple finishes and until you have 400 food that you need to advance to the classical age, which should be happening pretty soon. Other things you need to be paying attention for are just like looking at the map. If you got any good relics, like that's okay. There could be better ones. You're like trying to find gold mines and settlements. So really trying to scout as much of the map as you can. And another thing, you want to definitely like move these villagers over here so they're in the most efficient gathering position possible. And so then you're going to up bast, and the moment you have 135 food or gold and 5 favor, you want to buy Flood of the Nile, which is an upgrade that gives you a free trickle of food. So it's important to get that as soon as possible before you're really advanced to classical age is the best. There are even build orders where you don't even put villagers on wood, so that you just get food and gold as fast as possible, make your monument as fast as possible, so you can buy that upgrade as fast as possible. I know the Mista is always a huge advocate for buying Flood of the Nile as fast as possible, so it's a personal preference. I like to get pickaxe, so.
You need to here. No. No. No.
So I'm just using this villager to continue making houses.
In which?
And I can do the same thing I did before. Go to the far side of the caribou, shoot it so it walks towards the granary, and now I have efficient gathering for this. So continuing to make obelisks. And the moment I hit classical, I use my wood villagers to make the armory. I'm going to run away here because their tower is attacking me. And I lost my priest because I wasn't paying attention. So that's what happens. Like, you've got multiple things that you've got to be paying attention to. And so, and you can constantly make modifications to your build order depending on where your resource is at. So I noticed that I already have over 1,000 food, and I really only need gold and to get this armory up ASAP. So I'm actually going to take this villager here that's gathering from this Auroch, which is going to run out of food shortly eventually, and I'm actually going to take 2 of them, and I'm going to put them to build this armory so that it gets up as fast as possible. Again, not bringing them over to start building the armory before I drop off the food that they're carrying from the hunting, because they can be carrying resources while they're building, but you can often just forget that. And if, for instance, they're carrying food when they go to start building this armory, and then you change them to gather wood once this is built, then they automatically lose everything that they're carrying. And that's something that a lot of players don't tend to think about. So here I noticed that this hunting spot just was used up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send them out here and use this one. I mean, because I know I'm playing against an Egyptian player. Typically the Egyptian is going to turtle in their base and not really worry about the hunt in the middle of the map unless you're playing someone really good and aggressive. So it's generally safe to go out here before the 8-9 minute mark, as long as you have a unit there to protect your units that are gathering.
You need to.
Alright, so this is key. I've got enough food and gold to advance to the heroic age right now. But what you want to do is you want to cast prosperity as you're advancing from classical to heroic, but you want to cast it before you actually click into heroic, because it lasts for 45 seconds, the god power does, and it takes a minute to advance. So you want to have at least a 30-second period where you're still advancing, that you can shift the gold villagers over to wood, so that you have enough wood to produce chariot archers and siege towers once you hit heroic. If you use prosperity at like the same time that you start advancing heroic age, then you either have to put a lot of villagers on wood while you're using prosperity, which is not super efficient, or you just have to like live with the fact that you're not going to have a lot of wood when you hit heroic because of your bad timings. So I'm going to let that armory finish. I'm going to let this aurochs is going to finish soon. And see, I'm still queuing up a villager, but I'm going to cast prosperity now, and I'm actually going to up Nephthys, and I'm going to send all of those villagers that were just hunting over there over here. So I've got 17 on gold, which is a good number. And you want to take the villagers like this and, well, want to pull them over here. Sorry. So you have as many as possible between the mining camp and the gold mine. That's important for efficiency. And then your villagers are like doing something like this. You can be even more efficient and pull them around the tree like that. So now they don't have to like walk all the way around here. They just drop off here at this side. You want to queue up a couple priests as you're advancing, like 3 or 4 of them. And okay, see? So my prosperity just ended, and I'm only 66% Nephthys. So what I can do is I can take these 7 villagers that are gathering gold, pop them into this TC, and then go gather wood with them, which is important. So that way I'll have 9 on wood by the time I reach heroic. And then, not done yet. Actually, so I'm modifying the build order as I go, honestly. So I could take a couple from this gold mine and bring them out here so that I can build my migdol stronghold and siege workshop in an aggressive position, which is important. And the other thing that's important is you need to make sure that you're continually making houses so that you don't get popped. The goal of the 1TC fast heroic is to reach 118 population as fast as possible and then go attack your opponent, basically. So by the time, like when I reach heroic, I'm 97% right now. I want to be making that migdol and siege workshop like immediately. So I'm even going to take these food villagers to do that. Like, watch this. Okay, so I'm up now. Boom, migdol's down. Boom, siege workshop is down. Queue up more villagers. I've got 8 on gold, that's fine, and I've got 9 on wood, that's fine. I need to put some more on food, actually. So down here, there's more aurochs that are close to my base. I might go down here. I mean, honestly, like this migdol and siege workshop were put in a pretty bad place. It might have been smarter for me to take the villagers down here to make the migdol next to the caribou and aurochs and gold mine, because it covers all 3 of those spots while still being in an aggressive location to deal with the opponent for your push. So I'm going to do that. Let's pretend that I did that, and you noticed I was up heroic at about 7 minutes and 30 seconds. So I'm going to queue up elephants and chariot archers the moment that the migdol stronghold gets up. And you can also buy hand axe at this point if you have food to spare, and you're going to queue up siege towers there. So you see I'm 51 out of 88. But I'm still making houses, 98 now, so I'll be at just about full pop pretty soon. Now I'm at 60 pop, and I'm using these villagers to gather food so that I can continually make elephants, as well as villagers, as well as chariot archers, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. So then once you have an army like as soon as possible, really. You want to attack before 10 minutes, so you don't have to wait until you're 118 pop necessarily. You really go when you think you're in a position to be aggressive. This guy has a wadjet and 2 slingers. He's not doing so hot. So then another important tip that like you don't see a lot of mediocre players do is that if you have your whole army highlighted like this, and you're getting towards your opponent's base, you want to have your siege in the front. So if you highlight your whole army and move it forward like this, it's in marching position. If you change directions, the siege tower will go to the back, and then you can select it to have it attack the building. Let's see that again. So I'm moving forward, I change directions, boom, siege tower goes right to the front, and I can attack the buildings with my army in the back to protect those siege towers.
Up.
Another thing that, so like when I'm microing, I could use control groups to micro this army, or I could also like highlight the whole thing, and if I hold the control button and then click on the icons of the siege towers, then it deselects them. So I can let my siege towers continue to attack the buildings while I pull the rest of my army back into safety so they're not dealing with the tower fire. I make sure the towers are attacking my siege towers. And then you cast Ancestor's Eclipse while making sure you don't have idle villagers as best as you possibly can. And typically your opponent will resign, but I don't have time to wait for a computer to resign, so I'm just gonna resign myself. And you know, I'm at over 100 pop before 11 minutes, which is pretty good. This is easier to execute on high hunt maps because you have a lot of food that helps you age more quickly, start queuing units more quickly. More difficult on low hunt maps like Oasis or Alfheim. Sometimes where it might be smarter to go for a 2TC semi-fast heroic boom type strategy. It really depends, and that sort of intuition only comes when you've played for years and years. But this is a good strategy, a good starting place strategy for learning ISIS or Egyptian players that will work in a lot of different situations. So I just wanted to share that with all of you guys. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed it, and continue to stay subscribed to Universidad AOM. Thanks so much for watching.